Team, I'm going to try to make you a deal here. We're going to dive into Pierre Delecto, also known as Mitt Romney. We're going to dive into this now, and I'm going to hope that we don't really have to talk about Mitt Romney again for the rest of this election cycle, and maybe not even have to talk about him again for longer than that on this show, because he doesn't deserve it. Let's just look at what happened here. There was an alignment among Republicans. Mitch McConnell had his caucus in line. Republicans knew this is an outrage. This whole impeachment is ridiculous. Even if everything the Democrats said was true, it's not enough to remove a president from office. Not even close. It's a traffic ticket for a president. Who cares? If everything they said was all based on supposition, on lies, on analysis that normal people could never believe. Oh, there was no reason to investigate the Bidens. Lie. Oh, it would have changed the election and Trump was demanding this and that's illicit. Lie. It wasn't going to change the election. Hillary Clinton and her husband were running a global slush fund, taking millions and millions of dollars from the Saudis, from whomever. He wanted to give a speech, I think, in North Korea at one point. As long as the money's good. But, oh, no, there was no corruption with the Clinton Foundation. The Democrats are willing to pretend that they are total morons, even dumber than they actually are, in order to get away with believing things that we know they don't believe, but presenting facts in a way that is useful to them in the short term. So here's what Mitt Romney has done. Mitt Romney broke ranks with Republicans, doesn't change anything. He voted to convict on abuse of power, not on obstruction of Congress, which I should note, at least he's not that dumb. Because Mitt Romney's not a dumb guy. We can't say he's not a dumb guy at all. He obviously understands how to be a rapacious capitalist and maybe destroy some companies to make himself very, very, very rich in the process. Fine. Private equity can be a force for good. It also can destroy small towns and put a lot of people on the unemployment line. That's the reality of it. I know a lot of people who worked in private equity. They will tell you that behind closed doors. Yeah, sure. Sometimes it's, creative destruction, and sometimes it's just destruction. But Mitt Romney decided that his conscience dictated that he would have to go along on the abuse of power charge and join the insane, power-mad, deranged, anti-Trump Democrats in the Senate and give them the only glimmer of a silver lining that they've had all week. I mean, Democrats have just been getting shellacked right now. Trump's State of the Union was huge. The Iowa caucuses, we'll talk more about. Still don't know who won. Still don't know. Don't worry, Iowa, it's cool. Kick back, relax, come out to the coast, have a few laughs. Iowa doesn't have to rush, right? At this point, who even cares who wins the Iowa? They're already talking about New Hampshire. We'll dig into it a little bit. It looks like Bernie Sanders probably is going to be the guy who wins in the end as I go on air here, but Buttigieg is very close, and some people said he was the winner, and it's not the winner is Joe Biden, but we'll get there. We'll get there. So why did Mitt Romney do this? Let's unpack this for a moment. It has no effect on the president whatsoever. It doesn't do anything. So it's a vote that's entirely for show. It's a show vote, so Mitt Romney can showboat. This was about moral preening. Because otherwise, I would want to know, for example, let's really break this down. Why would Mitt Romney demand that he needed more witnesses, which was what we were hearing from him last week? Oh, I need more witnesses. I need to see more witnesses. If you're a juror in a murder trial, which I know this is not a criminal trial, which is why this whole thing also, at the end of the day, it's just a political exercise. It's entirely political. But it is in fact the definition of political. But if you're a juror in a murder trial, you don't say, I really need to hear from a lot more witnesses and a lot more evidence. And then when you're told, sorry, there are no more witnesses and evidence, you go, oh, well, I'm totally sure this person's guilty. If you're totally sure they're guilty, why do you need more witnesses and evidence? If you can come to that conclusion with the evidence already presented, why would you demand to see more evidence? Wouldn't that be, you'd think this is a pretty straightforward proposition, but no, Mitt Romney just wanted a lot of attention here, and he got it.